Thanks for attending today's interactive learning experience on embracing the components of being a great leader. My name is Sheree Franklin, and I'm here today to help guide a discussion on what it means to be a great leader. Now, I thought we'd start by sharing some of our thoughts about who's been a great leader that you've admired in your life, either personally or perhaps through knowledge about reading or historical events. Now, if you've been involved in sports, many times people will identify a coach as being a great leader. Because let's face it, coaches, especially at the early age, are really cultivating young people to deliver skills and abilities often that they didn't even know they had. And in today's corporate environment, you're still doing that same thing in the coaching environment. You're still your team or your associates' coach in order to get them to deliver at the highest potential. That's what we're really talking about here. Great leaders inspire, guide, and direct others to achieve their true potential. And they usually do it through action. They do it where they're showing by example. Have you ever been in an environment where a great leader has come in and told you about a deadline or crisis that you have to meet, and they roll their sleeves up and they get right in there and work with everyone else because they show their level of commitment and they're as dedicated as can be. And you know it because if a problem does develop, they're solution oriented and not inclined to blame anyone because they know that in order to get people to work effectively, you have to treat them well. And let's face it, no matter what business you're in or your title, every business is about getting along with others. I call it playing nicely in the sandbox. And you'd be surprised. Great leaders know how to massage all the personalities. And they work with people in a way where it's seamless. They make everyone feel, when they're in front of them, that your conversation is the most important thing in their world. And that's hard to do today because technology is playing such a big part in everything that we do. Many of us are either checking our smartphones or tablets all the time, or we're thinking that we have to get back and respond to something. And so being really present in a conversation is really a rare gift. Because a lot of times what happens is when we talk to others, our minds are going back into all the other things that we need to do. But a great leader stays right there. They're present within their presence. And they focus on everything that you say. Because a great leader wants to keep an awareness of what's a little problem so it doesn't turn into a great big one. And the way you do that is you have to be a very effective listener. So that's another skill of a great leader, right? Someone who really listens and pays attention to what you're saying. And, listening to a team member is one thing, but I find a great leader also needs to have their own advisory council to turn to for information. These are the people who you trust explicitly, and you have their confidence and they have yours, and you can really share what's on your mind. And you share it with people who, like you, aren't afraid to admit that they've made some mistakes. Because mistakes are just part of life. Mistakes are really opportunities for growth. And when you talk to people of like consciousness who are saying what it is they need to work on, and they ask to be held accountable, as you will too with them, then we're more likely to grow and evolve. Why? Because we've got our own little team around us who are going, rah, rah, you can do it. And they also, this informal advisory council, can help you course correct when you need to. Because there's sometimes you're going to have to adapt to change. And that's another thing about a great leader. If a mistake or problem comes up, they are solution-oriented and not inclined to blame anyone. And with the growth that comes from the experience, everyone comes away with a new skill set, realizing what they need in order to reach the next level. What have you noticed in great leaders? Are great leaders super packed all the time with 1,000,001 things to do? Well, you know what they say, if you want something done, give it to the busiest person you know. But I find with great leaders, no matter how busy they are, whatever project or activity that they're focused on, they are committed right there in that moment to that. They're not multitasking through 1,000,000 different things, because when you do that, that's when the slip-ups do occur. So they're able to concentrate at a given moment and focus so completely, they're more inclined to notice if a problem does come up. They don't let it slip by them. And also, they understand the significance of getting ideas and options from the people that are around them on their team. And that takes a real comfort level. Because let's face it, getting feedback can be tricky. You never know how people are going to respond to things that you say. And a great leader makes those around him or her feel comfortable with expressing their thoughts. Because you never know where that wisdom or insight is going to come from. And staying in line with trying new ideas and concepts keeps things fresh. And in today's highly competitive world, don't we need that? We need nimble thinkers. We need people who will respond and try new ideas and concepts, because that's the only way you're going to stay competitive. And it doesn't matter, how much technology you have. Technology is one piece in the competitive puzzle. The other part has to do with the people. And the people have to be equally committed to a task or goal. So that's a component of a great speaker, great leader. They're able to get people to realize that commitment to the goal. They get them to claim ownership and care so much about it, because they exude that passion and enthusiasm at such a deep level that there's no doubt in your mind that it means as much to them or more than you do. So we've gone over a number of skill sets, but I'm wondering, what do you personally feel you need to work on? You've got an exercise in front of you, and I'm going to ask you to take a couple minutes and fill out the boxes and just indicate what skills or abilities you'd like to work on during our 2 days together. Because we want you to come away from this experiencing claiming ownership and then willing to go out and take these skills out into your life. Everywhere we look, everything we do, people are impacting our lives. And when we're impacting the lives of others, and we grow and evolve as we go through this, then we're more likely to want more in our own life experience. That's what it's really about. A great leader is always looking for growth and development. They're always trying to do more in their life so they can not only achieve more for the people they interact with, but also they're looking for their own personal growth. Because isn't that what's happening to us as we're growing and evolving? We always are looking about how can I take myself to the next level? What can I do in order to achieve more in our life? And not to mention the fact, with a great leader, you will also know that this is a person who has honesty, integrity, and is trustworthy. Because when a person gives you their word and says, I'm going to do this, you want to know. You want to be committed at the level. You don't even have to question if they're going to do whatever they're going to say they're going to do. So these are vital components of a great leader. And each of you has the potential within you for that, or you wouldn't be here today. I'll look forward to us spending these 2 days together. Let's get started on the exercise. Thank you.